Hello everyone, welcome back to another session on Zeitgeist. This is like a continuation of our discussions of the poem by Gif Patel on killing a tree. Okay, in this session we'll go for a line by line explanation of the poem. The poem, as you have already seen, it has got 4 stanzas, so we'll try to summarize each stanza. Okay, so we'll start with the first stanza. It takes much time to kill a tree, not a simple jab of the knife will do it. Simple jab means a rough and a rough blow, but a strong blow. It will not kill a tree. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth. It was not a fast growth, rather it was a very slow growth, and such a fast movement cannot or a fast blow cannot kill a tree. Rising out of it, feeding upon the crust means the top layer of the soil. It absorbed every nutrients from there, absorbing years of sunlight. It has grown after absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide sprouting leaves. Leprous, the surface of the bark is disfigured and irregular, so that is also an indication of that particular usage called leprous hide sprouting leaves. It is like a very slow process, and that is what the poet is trying to explain to us. If I summarize the paragraph, the poet says that it takes much time to kill a tree. It cannot be done by a simple cut of a knife. The tree has grown gradually and its roots have gone deep inside the soil. The tree got its nutrients from the earth and grew in the upward direction by absorbing years of sunlight, air, and water. The leaves and branches of the tree sprouted from its bark and looked like a leprous disease. Yes, now moving on to the next stanza. Next stanza is a continuation of this process of killing the tree. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. No matter how much of pain that you are imposing on the tree, all these chopping and hacking means to cut into pieces in a rough manner, and the chopping, all these things are good. It can induce pain, but it cannot kill a tree. Then the bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs. No matter you do all the cutting and your chopping, okay, what will happen? The nature will heal itself. Okay, the bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground, no matter you have put them to the ground, from the ground what will happen? The small curly green twigs, it will sprout again. Miniature boughs, which if unchecked will again expand again to form a size. And if you don't check, if you don't cut again those sprouts, it will again grow into a tree. Okay, so if I summarize the paragraph, the poet says that cutting and chopping of a tree by an axe is not enough to kill the tree. This will give pain to the tree, but it won't be sufficient to destroy it. The sap flows out from the tree when it is cut or chopped. It is similar to human bleeding when they get wounded. The bark will heal itself with time. New branches will grow again and expand to their former size. Nature has the ability to recover itself. Nature has that ability with it to recover itself. So this is what he is trying to explain in the second stanza. And moving on to the third stanza, no, the root is to be pulled out. Now what exactly you are supposed to do? You are supposed to pull out the root out of the anchoring earth. There is an anchoring process that is in fact being done by the earth. So you have to pull the root out of that anchoring that is in fact being done on the earth. It is to be roped. How exactly you have to do pull out the root? You have to tie a rope. It is to be roped, tied, and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely. out of the earth's cave. How exactly you have to do it? There is in fact a cave that is formed with the roots, so you have to pull it out of that cave. It should be pulled out of the cave, and the strength of the cave, strength of the tree is exposed there. The source, white and wet, the source is white and wet. Okay, wet in the sense there it is wet. White means, you can see that when you pull out the roots and all, there is, there are some breaks in the roots, and you can see that there is a white kind of a portion there. So it is might be symbolizing purity also. The most sensitive, hidden for years inside the earth. About he is trying to describe the roots, in fact being called as the strength of a tree. So it is the source. It is described as the source of the tree. It is described as white. It is described as wet. Wet means, it can also wet can also symbolize, say, passionate, or something that has got some warmth in it. Like in that sense also you can explain the concept called wet. Then it is the most sensitive, and then it is hidden. Okay, and for years it was inside the earth. So these are the few ways through which the poet is trying to describe the source, or you can say the roots, and you have to pull the roots out, then only you can kill a tree. That is what the poet is trying to tell us. So if I summarize the third stanza, in the third stanza the poet suggests how a tree can be killed. The tree was strongly held to the earth by its roots. So in order to kill a tree, its roots has to be uprooted from the ground, and to do so the tree has to be tied with a rope and has to be pulled out completely from the earth, or you can say the earth cave, as it is mentioned in the poem. The earth cave means the space which is created in the earth by uprooting the tree. When the life source of the tree, that is the roots, are exposed, the trees will die. The poet has described the roots as white and wet because the white liquid flows out from the tree when the roots are pulled out. And these roots are the most sensitive and hidden part of the tree, which were inside the earth for many years. So that is all about the third stanza. And moving on to the last stanza, then the matter of scorching and choking, then only what will happen, that scorching and choking. Scorching means becoming dry. Choking means suffocation. In sun and air, the moment you expose the roots, then what will happen? Scorching and choking will happen in sun and air. Browning, hardening, twisting, withering, then it is done. Then only that same thing that you were trying to do, that you want to kill a tree, it will happen. Okay, browning will happen, hardening, twisting, and withering. All these words are important from the exam point of view. Okay, so if I summarize the last stanza, in this stanza the poet has explained the condition of the tree after its roots have been uprooted. He says that the tree will gradually dry up due to hot heat of the sun and wind. It will not be able to breathe and transport its nutrients, or you can say the transport of nutrients will stop as its roots are pulled out. The trunk of the tree will become brown and it will harden with time. The tree will dry and bend out of shape, and finally the tree will die. Okay, so this is, you can say, all about the poem on Killing a Tree by Gieve Patel. And we will discuss the questions in the next video. So till then, stay at home, stay safe, and take care.